Hello everyone, I'm welcome to GoldenNova's First Reacts, where I react first to all the things you want to see reacted to first, as long as I'm the first person you come to react to things first. Lo and behold, I was streaming this fine Wednesday evening right off of work, capping off my time there before my 3-day weekend when new cards dropped. Chat, thank you so much for not spoiling while I was streaming. If you don't know that I stream, definitely check me out on GoldenNovaYugioh, where I'm not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! On Twitch. I'm currently playing some visual novels, which are very fun. But that's not why you're here. You're to talk about new Joey cards. Look at this. Is this the new core set, Beyond the Brave? What a good name. And Joey gets to frontline. Heck yeah. It's always a good time. So we're going to take a look at it. Seeing Panther Warrior here. I saw some images. I literally rated someone who was talking about it, and I had to get out of there before I learned anything about it. But I see that it's a bunch of Joey reference cards for all of his like disparate random cards, which is cool to see. I love it when you bring those things in. Now, I know this isn't for everyone. I know this is a for me thing and all the people who like Domain specifically, but I'm hoping that we get a good deck master. Currently, the only deck master that pulls in as much Joey stuff as possible is Guilty of the D-Knight Soul Spear, which is a fine deck master. It's easy to summon, it's free removal when you do it, and it searches out most of the cards you need, as well as providing a ton of domains. Will these cards help? I guess we'll find out. Let's start with Swift Panther Warrior, a level 4 Earth Beast Warrior effect monster with 2,000 attack and 1,600 defense. You can only burp once per turn. You can only use this card's first effect once per turn. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you can tribute one other monster from your hand or field to activate one of these effects. Special summon a monster that mentions Dark Time Wizard from your hand, except a copy of this card, or send a spell or trap card that mentions Dark Time Wizard from your deck to the grave. And second effect, you can't declare attacks unless a monster or monsters were attributed this turn. This is a reference to original Panther Warrior's effect, where it's a level 4 monster with 2,000 attack, but when it attacks, you have to tribute. Thankfully, its effect kind of works with that. Like, you tribute a monster, you get another one into play, and then unlocks its attack. So that's fine. It kind of forces you to get the upside to use it for combat, but, you know, if these support cards are worth anything, then I'm not going to be complaining. But, of course, its ability to tutor out all these other cards, its power depends on if they're any good. So let's take a look at the next one. Alligator Sword Dragon Knight, level 5 Wind Dragon Monster, 1,700 attack, 1,500 defense. Reference to Alligator Sword Dragon, an old fusion monster. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. First, if this card is in your hand, you can reveal one other card in your hand that mentions Dark Time Wizard to special summon this card. Second, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add up to 2 spell or trap cards with different names from each other that mention Dark Time Wizard from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. And then third, it can attack directly, which of course is a reference to Alligator Sword Dragon, which could attack directly depending on what attributes your opponent controlled. So what? You can go Swift Panther Warrior, bring that out, tribute another monster, get out Alligator Sword Dragon Knight, grab 2, and then pitch 1. It's almost like getting the second effect out of this too, right? Instead of just sending a spell or trap card that mentions Dark Time Wizard, you're grabbing 2 of them with Alligator Sword Dragon Knight, and you got to pitch a card, so it could be one of the ones that you searched. So wild stuff already off the bat. But once again, a lot of this is predicated on if these additional cards are good. So far, we have a big guy that can regularly attack, and a semi-big guy that can attack directly. Okay, going up to level 7, Psycho Energy Shocker. Jinzo Energy Shocker. Level 7 Dark Machine Monster, 2,400 attack, 1,500 defense. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. First, this card's name becomes Jinzo while on the field or in the graveyard. Second, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can destroy all traps your opponent controls. If a card is set, reveal it. Then this card gains 300 attack for each card destroyed this way, so it's good for clearing out back row, or at least the trap cards. And then your opponent cannot activate trap cards or effects while you have another monster on your field or graveyard that mentions Dark Time Wizard. Okay. So it's just like Jinzo. It's just like Jinzo, although it's also even stronger than Jinzo, right? Because it just says your opponent can't activate trap cards or effects. It doesn't say on the field, which I think original Jinzo just ensures that trap card effects on the field are negated and trap cards on the field can't be negated. So no graveyard shenanigans, no breakthrough skill or something. I guess it's also... Oh, that's also gets around all the Dominus cards too. Actually, this stops things like that and Imperm too. That might be a little relevant actually. Blasts those. Keeps your opponent from activating them in response. Like if you summon this out and they already have trap cards, they're stuck there, then you blast them. This is pretty cool, and because its name becomes just Jinzo, it opens it up to playing some of the Jinzo cards. Unfortunately, you can't play this in a Jinzo deck unless you include any of these other Dark Time Wizard cards. What is Dark Time Wizard? What is happening? I must know. I must know. We must continue. I cannot stop here. Fisherman, Legend of the Sea. So, Legendary Fisherman is the guy, though. Notably, its level has already been pre-reduced by the effect of Legendary Ocean. Level 4 Water Warrior, 1850 attack, 1600 defense. You can only use this effect, the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. First, if your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, or when their monster declares an attack, and Umi, or a card that mentions Dark Time Wizard other than this card is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So this does work with Umi decks, because we can do that. If this card is special summoned, you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Also return this card on the field to the hand during the end phase of the next turn. So it's kind of like dipping out of the water and then going back into the water. That's pretty funny. That's okay. So this can, like, if they attack into your stuff and you have the Dark Time Wizard stuff, he just shows up, throws the harpoon, and then goes away later to come back again. Could be useful in just, like, Umi decks as well, just generally. I think the fact that it's level 4 is actually kind of a hindrance, right? Because if it was level 5, you could reduce it down to 4 and work with all the other things, but then that would mean it wouldn't work with all the other good level stuff that's, like, level 4 for waters. So maybe it is good that it's 4, but that's thinking on a whole other axis that isn't even intended for this. This is just a solid card for sure. I dig this. This is very fun. And notably, this is a trigger when it's special summoned, not by this effect. So if we need to, we can just summon this out with Swift Panther Warrior, ping a card, and then we can make a rank 4. So good stuff over here. Okay, so this is the new Overframe card. Red Eyes Black Dragon Exceed, but not Exceeds, Exceed. I don't know. It's just bringing the card out of the frame, not really interacting with the card frame in any meaningful way. I'm not. I mean, it looks good. This looks good. Not a good overframe though. Okay, it is a level 9 Dark Dragon monster with 3400 attack and 3000 defense, requiring a Red Eyes Black Dragon and a monster that mentions Dark Time Wizard. So any of those. Must either be fusion summoned or special summoned from the extra deck by attributing one face-up monster on either field during the turn a monster was destroyed by the effect of Dark Time Wizard. Oh no! Oh goodness. You can only special summon and copy this card once per turn this way, or once per turn, no matter what method you use. Okay, so first effect, if this card is special summoned, you can special summon a level 8 or lower monster from your hand or graveyard. Neat, probably one that you summoned out, and that is unaffected by your opponent's activated monster and spell effects, which means that it's got a little bit of that Metal Morph coding protection, despite the fact that it's not a machine monster. Okay. Oh, did they make Legendary Fisherman a level 4 monster so that you couldn't just tribute it off with a Metal Morph card to get the Metal Flame Swordsman? That's, oh man, don't do that. Come on, that's mean. Okay, whatever. I'm not looking at that anymore. This is just a fine card. If a card gets popped by Dark Time Wizard, you get a free fusion monster. You get to contact off an opponent's card. You get to revive something, which is pretty cool to go along with it. It's got some protection. Otherwise, it's just a big body. I'm with it. 1,000 bigger than other Red Eyes. This is great. This is good. Okay, do we get? Where's Dark Time Wizard? Wait, where's Dark Time? Oh, Dark Time Wizard is a spell card. It's not a monster. Ooh. It's been a spell the entire... Okay. 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 Dark Time Wizard. Quick play spell card. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each of these effects of this card's name once per turn. First, add one card that mentions Dark Time Wizard from your deck to your hand, except a copy of this card. Also, add one Dark Time Wizard from your graveyard to your hand during the end phase of this turn. So it is a repeatable search card because you will keep getting it back each turn. Though notably, it goes to your hand. So if you activate it during your turn, it goes to your hand. It's your opponent's turn. You won't be able to activate this from your hand. Oh my god, there's just actual freaking cards in the background. There's all kinds of... Look at it. There's the Raw Trap card, the Anubis thing. There's the Psycho Shocker attack card. There's the Barrel Dragon attack. Oh my god, they're going through all of Joey's worst memories. He has a Dark Time Wizard because we are torturing this poor man. Okay, second, toss a coin and call it. If you call it right, destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, inflict damage to them equal to half of those monsters' original attack. If you call it wrong, destroy all monsters that you control. And no matter what, a monster would have been destroyed by the effect of Dark Time Wizard. So you'll be able to contact Fuse for Exceed using any monster on the field. Wow. Now, notably, if you do that, it does not loop itself. It only loops itself when you do the search effect. Okay. Notably, you could activate this with like minimal commitment to the field. Like you could make sure that there's a monster on either field, so no matter how the coin flip goes, you walk away from it. I guess also this is better than Time Wizard because regular Time Wizard, if I remember correctly, blows up your opponent's cards if you call it right, and then blows up your cards if you call it wrong and deals you effect damage. So this is the opposite. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, Graceful Skull Dice. It's both of them. Okay, quick play spell card. You can roll a 6-sided die twice and apply these effects in sequence for the rest of the turn. Monsters you control that mention Dark Time Wizard will gain attack and defense equal to the total times 200, and then monsters your opponent controls will lose attack and defense equal to the total times 200. That's pretty strong. You're rolling 2 6-sided dice, so the minimum that you're getting is a 2, and then you're multiplying that by 2, so that's a minimum 400-point boost to all of your monsters that are Dark Time Wizard related, and they all lose 400, which, you know, like individual monster to monster isn't that big, but it is an 800-point swing total, and that's kind of wild. And then anything higher than that is immediately going out of control. If like a 3, that's a 600, so that's a 1200-point boost swing relative between two monsters. So this is kind of like a good no matter what situation. Second, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, then target one of those monsters, roll a 6-sided die, and if the total is 6 or more, destroy that monster. That is better than a coin toss. That is way better than a coin toss. It's 2 6-sided dice, and we're looking for any that is 7 or higher. I don't know what the exact distribution is, but I know that 7 is like of the total between 2 to 12. Like what? The only ones that you can miss on are 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. And yeah, so I can't do the combination right there, but that's only 4 numbers that are available out of your series of 11 hits, 2 through 12. So even just like not taking a distribution value into account, that's already more than halfway. And then, you know, 7 being the most common one. And this is a reason to put it into the graveyard with your card. Okay. I dig. This does not say... Let me check the fusion monster. It has to be destroyed by Dark Time Wizard specifically, not by a card that mentions Dark Time Wizard. Okay, so... Oh, is it Dark Time? Because it's Dark Times. Is it Dark Times Wizard? Not that he's an evil time wizard. He's just a time wizard that's focused on like, hey, remember that time you almost got murked by Odeon? Remember that time you almost died, kid? Okay. So this is solid. I think this is a really solid card. Sleeping Scapegoats, quick play spell card. Special summon up to 4 Scapegoat. Look at that Scapegoat tokens. Level 1 Earth Beast, 0 attack and defense, in defense position. Then if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon a Swift Panther Warrior from your deck. Also for the rest of this turn, these tokens cannot be attributed for your tribute summon. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck except fusion monsters. And if a card you control that mentions Dark Time Wizard would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one of your tokens summoned this way instead. Oh, that's a lingering effect? They all just get to like have that? Forever? That's nutty. That's pretty cool. So this is like just better Scapegoat, right? Like, oh, I guess there's the restriction on. Well, Scapegoat keeps you from summoning anything. This one still lets you summon fusion monsters, which is kind of gnutty. Oh, and if your Dark Time Wizard goes off incorrectly and you want to keep your monsters safe, you can pop a token, one of the tokens instead. Now, I don't think that counts as being destroyed by Dark Time Wizard, because that's using its own replacement effect to destroy it. So I don't think that would count towards getting you Exceed. And I don't think you can choose to only protect one monster this way. You would have to protect all or protect none of them. Rulings Masters in the comments, let us know if we can save, if we can choose to not save multiple monsters, if it means letting some of them be destroyed by Dark Time Wizard. But other than that, it's just a way to get Swift Panther Warrior onto the field, which can use these as tribute fodder, because these tokens can't be tributed for a tribute summon, but that's the only thing that they can't be used for. And Swift Panther Warrior can tribute from the hand or field. Now, I suppose the problem here is that you have to summon 4 of them. No, it is up to 4 Scapegoat tokens. So if you wanted to, you could just summon like 1 so that the Swift Panther Warrior can eat it and then keep your entire field free. You could summon 2. This is just better. This is just better Scapegoat. Like, there's no way around that, right? This is just better. Okay, Foolish Grave Robber. Normal trap card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. First, send a card that mentions Dark Time Wizard from your deck to the graveyard except Foolish Grave Robber. Then you can special summon 1 monster from either graveyard to your field. So it's just Monster Reborn. That also is Foolish Burial. Second, you can banish this card from your graveyard to set one of these cards to your field. A spell or trap card in your graveyard that mentions Dark Time Wizard or any spell or trap in your opponent's graveyard with no restrictions on it. Hello, that's really good, actually, huh? Actually, those are my Dominus cards. Actually, those are my Imperm cards, you dolt. How dare you think you could use those against me, you fraud? I've got the Foolish Grave Robber. That's actually kind of cool. That's actually kind of cool, huh? I'm with it. I'm with it. Okay, and then we have Reversal Box, continuous trap card. Once per turn during the standby phase, roll a 6-sided die and place counters on this card equal to the result maximum of 6. Once per battle, if an opponent's monster attacks during damage calculation, or when a monster activates its effect on your opponent's field, you can remove 1 counter from this card, then target one of those monsters. Toss a coin and call it. If you call it right, you can special summon 1 monster that mentions Dark Time Wizard from your deck, and if you do, until the end of this turn, change the targeted monster attack to 0 and negate its effects. So this has no upper limit to the amount of times that you can activate this per turn. You just have a limit, like the counters are your charges on it. And there is a chance that you can just negate something. there's a chance you can say, go to hell, your card's gone, and I summon something, and also it's at 0. Folks, the progression series is back. The Fairy Box meme has returned, and it has come to kill you. Alligator Sword has come to stop your effect from happening. And Rocket Warrior is in there. The cutie. Huh? Hell yeah. Okay, there was also this one here. It's a V-Jump card that was also revealed alongside it. Stage of Destiny. This is a lot of old normal monsters. Just real old ass. Look at that. Look at that Guardian of the Fortress just mogging on him. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can activate this card the turn it was set by revealing one normal monster in your hand. Special summon up to 5 normal monsters from your hand and or graveyard in attack position. You cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn after this card resolves. Oh, cool. So you can just flood your field with normal monsters? That's funny. That's very funny. And it's quick to use if you have a normal monster? Huh. You play big enough normal monsters, you can just kill someone with this. It doesn't even have to be different names, too. That's... Now, of course, the way to use this... Well, actually, not the way to use it effectively. It is up to 5 normal monsters. It does not have to be five normal monsters. So you don't have to play all of them. This is like, what? I'm thinking World Chalice? You activate this during your opponent's end phase, get 5 material, link off like nobody's business. I'm trying to figure out if there's any other decks that care, right? Like, if you run like 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, this is 9,000 points of damage that you can just throw at your opponent for no reason, plus any other normal monster that you're playing. This is a brewing card for sure. This is a big brewing card. And then we're also getting a alt art as well. We are getting a Fire Formation Tenki, which is a staple in Beast Warrior decks because it just tutors out any level 4 or lower Beast Warrior. But this time around, it is of Panther Warrior with Salamandra, and like I guess Panther Warrior is a Beast Warrior, but it's just so funny to think that this archetypal spell card is now being associated with a non-archetypal but character-associated monster. Have we had that yet? We've had things like Pot of Extravagance that is referencing Eldritch. We've had Called by the Grave that references, I think, the Live Twins, but those were like non-archetypal cards that are referencing archetypal stuff. I can get behind that. That's pretty cool. But this was already part of an archetype. That's very funny. That's a very funny idea. I think these cards are fun. Now, we did not get the Joey Deckmaster that outclasses Guiltia. In fact, I think we need it even more now because it has like the dragon on there to cover Sword Knight. It's got the dark in there to cover for Jinzo. It's got the water and the warrior there to cover for Fisherman. It lets us play all of these cards. I don't know if it lets us play Swift Panther Warrior, though. That's the big problem. Guilty of the D-Knight? Soul Spear. It's not looking good, folks. Folks, it's not looking good. Folks, it is terrible. We are a light warrior. Warrior's already in the main, the effect text. We can play darks, we can play machines, we can play dragons. There is no earth and there is no beast warrior. So if you're playing domain and you want to add these cards, you're not going to be able to add the best card that utilizes it. Oh, that's rough. This is kind of the issue. This is a bit of a side tangent. Obviously, this does not impact constructed regular-ass Yu-Gi-Oh! These cards look very fun to play. I don't know if they're competitively viable, but they do some fun stuff, and I think that they're interacting in very wild ways, so I do think this is a deck worth playing for sure. But the problem with these decks that are united by a card name, in their text means that they don't mesh with domain rules as they're established now. Now, I will tell you, if your friend group is cool and you're just trying to play for like funsies and do character deck stuff, you can just kind of like ignore domains. If you just want to be all like, hey, let me sneak in a Swift Panther Warrior in here just for giggles, just talk to your group. Let them ask them. They might let you do it. And then you can play Swift Panther Warrior. But aside from that, these are some pretty hella cards. These seem very fun and funny. I can't wait to see if someone makes something out of these. These are so wild. And they allow the usage of coin flip and dice rolling mechanics in a way that is deterministic a bit, but they don't necessarily decide the endpoint of the deck. These are good effects regardless. Even reversal box, you can whiff on it by calling the coin toss wrong, but if your dice roll is high enough and you get enough charges on there, you can just keep working on it. You can just keep rolling them, flipping them coins until you get some hits. So that's pretty sick and nasty. They tried to sneak it past me. They were like, ooh, we don't gotta have the summon skulls in time for Nova's video, but I was distracted and I didn't upload it quick enough, and so now we're also adding the summon skull stuff to this because they thought they were gonna be cheeky. So we've got 3 cards for the 30th anniversary Demons pack. We have a new extended art of Summon Skull, and this is a mother overframe. When I say that I think that overframes work best when they interact with the frame itself, this is what I'm talking about. You can, I don't have my pointer on here, but if you look at the bottom of the card frame where it would normally be, you can see the smoke spilling out from underneath it. Summon Skull is rising from the card. This is what I am looking for. This is what you can do with it. It adds depth of field. It makes it like an interaction. It is a character. This is good. More of these, please. This is solid. This is a really good overframe. Happy to see it, and I'm glad to see we're doing it on things that are like normal monsters too. We've done it on older cards, but I think this is the first normal monster overframe. Once again, please lambaste me in the comments, but this is good. Hope we get this copy. As for new cards, we have Archfiend's Origin, a level 7 Dark Fiend monster with 2500 attack and 1200 defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. First, if this card is in your hand, you contribute one other Archfiend monster from your hand or field to special summon this card. Okay. Second, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can special summon one level 6 Fiend monster with 2500 attack from your hand, deck, or graveyard. Okay, also really good. When your opponent activates a monster effect and you control Summon Skull, like real-ass Summon Skull, quick effect, you can negate the activation if you do destroy that card. Oh, okay, cool. So you tribute another Archfiend, get Origin, get Summoned Skull, presumably. Like, I'm sure there's other level 6 Fiends out there with the attack requirement, but you're getting Summoned Skull, and then it's a negate. Notably, we have a bunch of the additional Summoned Skull monsters that count as Summoned Skull when they're in rotation, so, like, well, I think they only count as Summoned Skull on the field, but that doesn't matter for this, because they should all be level 6 Fiends. What is it, like, Archfiend's Ascent is one of them. Archfiend's Ascent is the Xyz monster, but that's a bad example because that is a rank 6 monster, not a level 6 monster. What's the other ones? Where's the... We will find this. There's gotta be like a list of Skull Archfiends. Archfiend's Advent, maybe? That's a... Well, that also works. That's a Shining Sarcophagus version. But there's like... where's like the fusion one? Archfiend's Manifestation is the fusion. Okay. So it's a level 6 Fiend, 2500 attack. And it becomes Summon Skull while on the field. Not in the graveyard, but that doesn't matter because this can still summon it from the graveyard if need be. So, okay. If you're going to make a Summon Skull deck, this ain't half bad. As long as you're playing like a bunch of other, like, Archfiend... Like, you could just play Summon Skulls because they're all Archfiends now. But if you're playing an Archfiend deck, I wouldn't say no to including this either. It's just a free way to get more bodies and to punch stuff. And I would look into these. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and go to Yu-Gi-Oh! card database. And I'm going to see about looking into that while we look at the next card. Makore, the Lightning Strike. There's the Lightning card. Mariokutai is the one that I remember saying is the big lightning thing that works with a Thunder Monster or Summon Skull. But now we have a more specific version for when they shot down the perfectly ultimate Great Moth. Or this is just Great Moth. It's a quick play spell card that is always treated as an Archfiend card. You can only use this card's first and second effect once per turn. First, target an Archfiend monster that you control. It gains 600 attack, then you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls with lower original attack than this monster's attack. Pretty good. Second, during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a level 6 fiend with 2500 attack in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So you just get to recycle. Okay. Hard to argue with that. It is a buff that lasts forever. The 600 attack does not go away. And then you just get to blast any monster that your opponent has specifically. I dig it. I dig it. They all go boom. Okay, Fiend monsters with 2500 attack that are level 6. There are actually quite a few of them. 20. Where am I pulling numbers from? I think because I said 2500. There are 14 monsters. 13 because we can take out Archfiend's Ascent. We can get Brain Golem. One more or less because one of them is Goblin Bikers gone bonkers. Yeah, most of these are Summoned Skulls, including Toon Summoned Skull. Oh, this can get End of Anubis. That's kind of funky. If graveyard targeting... all cards that target cards in the graveyard or activate in the graveyard. So if cutting off graveyards is what you want to do, End of Anubis is a great target for this. And just a bunch of other fun goodies. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna see about splitting this back into the regular episode, but no, we'll just do a new ending with this one actually. So Summon Skull stuff. Joey, Summon Skull. Yugi, Joey. This ending has been completely ruined by strange happenings, and I don't know what to do here, so please comment down below about what you like about these cards and what you can use them in. Educate me on anything that I missed out on. And until the next time, Konami drops some juicy spoilers. I'll see all of you next time. Bye-bye. 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 See ya. Go away now. It's credits time.